Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Loyalty to country always, loyalty to government when it deserves it. Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied to many. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. It's better to be an optimist who is sometimes wrong than a pessimist who is almost always right. By trying, we can easily learn to endure adversity. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. The most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. The worst loneliness is not to be comfortable with yourself. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. No woman or man really knows what perfect love is until they have been married a quarter of a century. If everyone was satisfied with himself, there would be no heroes. You meet people who forget you. You forget the people you meet, but sometimes you meet those people you can't forget. Those are your friends. Concerning the difference between man and the jackass, some observers hold that there isn't any, but this wrongs the jackass. In order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. April 1st. This is the day upon which we are reminded of what we are on the other 364. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Always acknowledge fault frankly. This will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. The fact that man knows right from wrong proves his intellectual superiority to the other creatures, but the fact that he can do wrong proves his moral inferiority to any creatures that cannot. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly and kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. And never regret anything that makes you smile. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Always obey your parents when they are present. This is the best policy in the long run, because if you don't, they will make you. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Get your facts first, and then you can distort them as much as you please. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. A sin takes on new and real terrors when there seems a chance that it is going to be found out. A sound heart is a surer guide than an ill-trained conscience. Only 2 things will regret on deathbed: that we are a little loved and little traveled. There is no such thing as an ordinary life. Memories which someday will become all beautiful when the last annoyance that encumbers them shall have faded out of our minds. Conscience takes up more room than all the rest of a person's insides. There are several good protections against temptations, but the surest is cowardice. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Name the greatest of all inventors: accident. Virtue has never been as respectable as money. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. Any emotion, if it is sincere, is involuntary. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. There's no easy or quick plan to happiness. There is no single spot where you can start. Where you are right now is the best place to begin. Everyone is the moon and has a dark side, which he never shows to anybody. Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. Circumstances make man, not man circumstances. Man was made at the end of the week's work, when God was tired. The truth must be served like a coat, and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. It is strange the way the ignorant and inexperienced so often and so undeservedly succeed when the informed and the experienced fail. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. Always do what is right. It will gratify half of mankind and astound the other. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. One frequently only finds out how really beautiful a beautiful woman is after considerable acquaintance with her. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt. The man who is a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. My experience of men had long ago taught me that one of the surest ways of begetting an enemy was to do some stranger an act of kindness which should lay upon him the irritating sense of an obligation. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. If you have to swallow a frog, don't stare at it too long. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Buy land, they're not making it anymore. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. My works are like water. The works of the great masters are like wine, but everyone drinks water. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. A half-truth is the most cowardly of lies. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Do right, and you will be conspicuous. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. A man should not be without morals. It is better to have bad morals than none at all. Better a broken promise than none at all. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. How little a thing can make us happy when we feel that we have earned it. A man may have no bad habits and have worse. We can secure other people's approval if we do it right and try hard, but our own is worth 100 of it, and no way has been found out of securing that. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Work like you don't need the money. Dance like no one is watching. And love like you've never been hurt. As soon as one is at rest in this world, he goes on something else to worry about. The secret source of humor itself is not joy, but sorrow. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts. When angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear. Politicians in diapers must be changed often and for the same reason.